Hey, welcome to Scripting 3, where you can learn all about JavaScript in short tutorial videos around 3 minutes or less. Today we're talking about a method on an array called Reduce. Check out the description for the documents on this, and also the JS bin that I've got here. You can find a link for there to have a play yourself as well. So quickly to go over what is happening in Reduce. Essentially in Reduce, we take an array, one argument or one part of the reduce function is an accumulator, and then we go through the array and take out each item from the array and do something to put it together with the accumulator. In the code here, we're actually putting it together, adding each parts together. So we have a before ES6 version here, and also our ES6 version. And I will talk about how to get from one to the other as well. But quickly, what's going on? So we have our array here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then every array in JavaScript holds a set of methods. And in this case, to call the methods, we put dot, and then we get then we write in our reduce. And then reduce itself takes one argument, and that argument is an anonymous function. Here is an anonymous function. And that function itself contains an accumulator and a current value. So the accumulator is what's being added, is what holding everything together, and the current value is what is the value in the array at the time. So in this case here, our accumulator, each time it loops through, our accumulator gets added the current value, and the result of this would be 10. So as it goes through, the current value gets added to the accumulator, and then the whole thing gets returned at the end. And then down in the ES6 version, the same thing is happening. So how do we get from not before ES6 into the ES6 version? So here in this console log here, we can see that the reduce function here is taking, the reduce method is taking this variable here result, and this variable here result is actually a function. And it's this function here. So this function here, all of this here has been converted into this const value here result. And the way that that is done, so we will rewrite it underneath here. Result equals the arguments of the arguments on the of that function in a function, like so. And then there's the fat arrow, and because it's on one line, you don't need to do any return. This will return automatically like that. So that's this inner function here. So we can take that out, and we're left with this reduce. And then if we put this reduce down here, we can then put the result inside of that. So this, and then we'll call this as the, we'll call this as a final result. And then you can see it's the same as it's being converted to the ES6 version. Okay, so when I found a mistake, I fixed it. That was down here. We got the result twice. So now when I run this, we get the expected output.